Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. It's your boy Mo, and if you haven't already done so, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments of any kind of content you want to see going forward, and most importantly, don't forget to turn on notification bells. I said that all in one breath for whatever reason, but yeah. Don't forget to turn on notification bells so you get notified when I drop new videos, because I know you don't want to miss that. All right, so today's conversation, or today's topic, I want to talk a little bit about jealousy. And envy, and in particular, are you entitled to it? And I also want to kind of give this little bit of a disclaimer. I know a lot of my last few videos have been kind of like a very you-based type thing where I say like, are you this, blah, blah, blah. When I say that, I'm referring to you so that you can kind of think internally a little bit. And I'm also referring to myself when I talk about these things because, as I mentioned, and I like to keep reiterating in case this is the first video of me that you've ever seen, I like to hold myself accountable and other people accountable as well. And as always, these are also opinion-based pieces. I'm giving my opinion on something. It doesn't necessarily mean it's facts. And anytime you hear advice or opinions on things online or on the internet, always take it with a grain of salt, meaning don't take it as fact, take it as something critical to add to your repository of knowledge. And just like an additional piece to think about things. So this topic just kind of sits with me because I have some relatives and some friends that are also doing some like some personal advancement, some financial advancement, and just career advancements in general. And a lot of times people have issue with that when they start seeing their friends do well. When they start seeing people kind of escape that level where you kind of see eye to eye and this person starts to not become bigger, but just sort of get outside of this zone where now they have a little bit more success. And I've always thought that to be kind of a little bit of a weird concept where people are okay with seeing you win and support you and want to see you win until you start winning more than them. And then that's when it becomes a problem, and then feelings of jealousy and envy start to come up and bubble up. And I think it's really just human nature. Like, people are just built like that. And I don't think it's a particularly positive or negative thing to feel a type of way about somebody's growth. I think it becomes very negative when you start to act on those feelings and when you never check those feelings. What do I mean by that? So like, let's say you have wow, that voice cracked. Let's say you have a friend that's doing very well or starting to do better for themselves after kind of like years of being a little bit dumpy, and you feel a type of way about this, and it causes like a lot of passive aggression when you hang out, you know, like jokes that are somewhat teasing in nature, but you can tell there's a hint of resentment behind it because, and this is something my brother likes to say a lot, like jokes are rooted in truth. So even when jokes are funny for a reason, jokes are funny because they're relatable in a way. Like, there's always some hint of truth to it. When that friend or that person starts making little jabs at your successes or starts making little jabs about how you've changed as an individual, and it just not in a very positive light, and it creates this weird little tension that you start to feel in a lot of spaces. This hasn't happened to me as much. I think my initial encounters with those types of my initial encounters with these types of things were more so when I was starting off my career, like my 9-to-5 job, because the environment that I came from was very competitive, and a lot of people judged your worth based on what kind of offers that you would land, what kind of interviews you'd have, and who you were connected to. But what I'm referring to is like some friends that are more successful in an entrepreneurial capacity, which is something that I'm striving to become or striving to do. And these hints and these patterns kind of continue in whatever circle that is, just when people feel like you're kind of starting to one up them. And I think everything kind of comes down to purpose. Like, if you're hanging out with somebody that's succeeding, and you see that person is kind of rubbing their success in people's faces, in the sense that you know that your friends are kind of doing poorly right now, but you're consistently talking about your achievements and what you're doing in a way that's like meant to put them down, then yeah, I think you're not really a great person, number one. And number two, your intent to put that person down just kind of makes you the small person, because you want that person to be small so that you can be big. And that's not really a friend. That's just a rivalry. That's kind of just hidden, low key, until somebody confronts it, or that relationship kind of bubbles and dissipates. And I think I don't think you're generally ever really entitled to jealousy, because that person who's becoming successful, no matter how undeserving you think they are of their success, they put in the work. And even if you know these people in a very close capacity or their close circles, you don't know what work they do behind closed doors. You don't know how much effort they put into what they do to get to where they're at. And that's a question I always ask myself too. I created this sign that I just put above my mirror every day, and I look at it every time I wake up when I go to get coffee before I start work, and it says, "Have you worked on your goals today?" And if my answer to that question that day is no, I have no room to complain. I have no room to be envious or to be jealous of somebody else's success, because I didn't do something to push my own success. I didn't do anything to move forward. And I think a lot of times feelings of entitlement and feelings of jealousy and feelings of envy all stem from wishing that you were doing what somebody else was doing, or wishing that you were in that spot that somebody else is in. And oftentimes it's undeserved, because you didn't put in the time or the effort or the space to do that. And that's just 2 cents that I just kind of wanted to get off my chest a little bit. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.